like to see your face, but your camera is not working tonight.
Oh, it is working, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to show my appearance. That's why
Okay.
yeah, blocked it. Okay.
Yeah, no worries about that. Hey, how have you been? We have not really seen each other for a long time
Yeah,
or
right.
talked to each other. Nothing
Mm.
to share? Nothing much has happened?
Yeah, I decided to participate in the buff event.
Mm.
Yeah, I finished the first step of the buff event, and
Uh-huh.
now yeah, I'm stepping on the second level, second step.
Okay, which is what?
I have to take 100 classes with
Oh.
teachers.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
within
Okay.
30 days.
So how many classes have you already had?
Around 20.
Well, within 30 days from the very first day that you started, right? Or when do you start counting the 30 days?
It's up to me, and I mean this the Tuesday this week, I started yeah my my buff event
Uh-huh.
not buff event, I mean step
At
two,
least.
the step two of my buff event this
Uh-huh.
Tuesday.
Whoa, okay. Well, I think a good luck is in order here. 100 classes. I cannot even begin to count how many hours that will be. Oh, wait a second. Last question before we go to our lesson. So if you have a 20-minute class, uh, wait a second. How do I put it? Okay, if you
I
are registered, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I have to take 3 or 4 classes every day for 30 days. So
It,
if I take
mhm.
3 classes a day, then I have to um, study for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. But it does not matter whether you're going to have the class in the morning or in the evening,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's no
Okay.
problem. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
haven't you heard of this event?
I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly the mechanics of how it's going to be. I was thinking, that's why my question would be, if you are registered for, let's say, uh, this is your regular class minutes,
Uh-huh.
10 minutes, and then uh, so let's say 1 hour of 6 10-minute classes, and then you register or you have another class which is regularly 20 minutes. So, how do they count that one?
It doesn't matter if I have 1 minute class or 20-minute class. I have to take 100 classes. So the time is not that important. Yeah, how many
Okay.
classes I have to take?
Mhm. It wouldn't be like, since you originally have 10-minute classes, you have to have a total of 110-minute classes, and then if you register again for a 20-minute class, 120-minute classes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck. Yeah, enjoy your
Okay.
classes. Okay.
Yeah.
And for tonight, what will be our topic?
I want to study free talking textbook.
Mm, okay. I was kind of expecting us to have our NS, but of course,
Mm-hmm.
free talking is fine. Which free talking? One
Uh,
or two?
one
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and
and what will be the topic? Okay, hold on. Let's upload it
uh,
first.
number three, exam hell.
Uh-huh. Okay, exam hell. Did you already start with this topic
No, it's my
from?
first time.
Okay, yeah. Are you studying the topics from the book in order, or it's just a random choice?
Oh yeah, in order.
Ah, okay. All right. So let's get started with the very first one. Now, what is your opinion about taking an exam or taking exams to enter schools and companies? Do you think it's a fair system? Why or why not?
Yeah, I think it's a fair system and I think
Mhm.
it's good because if we don't take exam, then what standard can it be? So
Mhm.
yeah, there would be some factors that they decide what people they will choose. So if there is no exam, then it's really vague. So
Mhm.
I think if the standard is clear um, and what is that? Clear
Mhm.
and specific, then
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Specific.
better. Yeah, it would be better for people to prepare. Yeah, entering schools or companies.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Oh, careful with your pronunciation. Specific.
Specific,
Mhm.
specific,
Specific.
specific.
Okay, there we go. Specific. Okay. So you are you saying that there should always be a standardized test for schools, of course, for schools, but for companies. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder about that one because some companies do not necessarily have written exams. Most of their basis for taking in an applicant will be the the oral interview, not exams. What do you think about that?
I also thought it was a kind of exam, but
Mhm.
if it is an oral interview, then it
Mhm.
can be uh, it can be exam.
It can be an exam. Yes, yes. Okay,
Really?
just as long. Um,
I'm
I'm
asking
basing,
actually. Mm.
yeah, uh, I'm basing it on how we do things here in the Philippines. A lot of companies would already take that as a form of exam. Yeah. Okay, but I think they have like a set of questions that they will be asking, and then there will be kind of keywords that they're going to look for or listen for when the applicant is going to answer. Yeah, but for me personally, I feel that it's not very specific, like you said. Okay, because there are so many ways to answer a particular question. Okay.
My question is that uh, interview cannot be interview cannot be included in an exam.
No, not necessarily, because
Mm,
you know, when we think of an exam or written exam, there will be just one particular answer, right? Okay, but
mm-hmm,
for an interview, it's how you are going to respond to a particular situation. So there's so many ways by which you can respond to that. Okay,
mm-hmm,
and you will also uh, gauge the person's ability to think fast and to
mm-hmm,
speak so fluently. Confidence, how he sits down or stands up. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
so many things like that.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
And what are
what was your question?
hmm so in oh I forgot exactly.
So
Okay.
you said maybe some company doesn't have exam
Oh
in
yeah yeah
Korea.
yeah. Uh huh. So are there companies that don't have an exam, a written
Yeah.
exam? Oh okay.
Yeah, as I know, yeah, there are some companies that doesn't have
That don't.
don't
Mhm.
have exams, but most big companies have exam, so we have to take exam to enter the company.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. And let's have number two. What are some problems created by the Korean exam hell? Share your ideas with members. Okay. Before you answer this one, I'd like to know more about this one. I mean, do you guys really refer to it as exam hell?
Mm, uh, it has changed actually.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Changed.
Yeah, it has changed.
Mhm.
Uh, Nowadays, as I know, there are two types that I mean, students can go into the university.
Mhm.
So uh, we have a college entrance exam in fall,
Mhm.
and only 30% of how can I say, before that exam 70% of students are already decided what university they can go. So
They can go too. Yeah.
yeah, they can go
Mhm.
to. So
Mhm.
uh, with their grades in school, I mean high school,
Mhm.
and also their what is that? Self interest introduction.
Self introduction
Yeah,
portfolio.
yeah, self instruction instruction. Yeah,
Uh huh.
and then what uh what how can I say? Oh,
Uh huh.
wait for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, math. Uh, there is uh, not how can I say, not
Mhm.
contest. I mean, yeah. So can
Uh
I
huh.
say math contest? Uh,
It depends, because of course the context of contest. What do you mean? Go ahead.
so many students get together and there is an exam and they take an exam and there would be first a winner and second winner. So what can I call those thing? That thing contest or
No, ranking.
ranking.
Yes,
So
ranking.
they can I say students participate in math ranking?
Yes, math rankings, well, competitions in a way, okay, but uh, how will that competition affect their going to a particular university?
I mean, if they win that competition, then they can write down one thing in their self introduction or portfolio.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So competitions, yes, you're correct in saying that. Oh, I didn't realize. So the more contests that they will participate in and they win, the more that they can put in their portfolios, and that could affect their, uh, yeah, their, well, how do their qualification to enter a particular university. You mean I
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Wow, that is so much pressure.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a pleasure. But the
Mhm.
important thing is uh, many people can't win the competition.
Mhm.
So very few students can write down their how can I say,
Their
they
achievements,
yeah,
probably.
their achievements.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so but other things are really, other factors are really vague in my opinion.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
university choose students by 70 university choose 70% of students by their portfolio and the yeah, winning contest,
You-
yeah, those things,
Uh-huh.
not by the result of college entrance exam.
Ah, okay. So we can also use the word merits.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mary.
you're familiar with this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apart from their achievements, their merits, the honors that they get from their school, right? And then the number of activities they participate in, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. Okay. Well, this one is appropriate because, like you said, not all students will get this or have
Mm,
a lot of achievements. Okay,
yeah.
that's too much pressure. Okay, so
Um,
going back to the question,
mhm.
so what are some problems created by the Korean exam hell? Okay.
So what I wanted to say was actually, uh, in my school days,
Mhm.
we only have one, not only one, but most of students could get into the college by their score of college entrance exam. As I know, over 90% of students um,
Uh-huh.
can could get into the college
Uh-huh.
based on their score of the test, but it
Mm-hmm.
changed. So only 20 or 30% of students uh, now get into the college
Mm-hmm.
based on their result of the score of test.
Mm-hmm.
So other
So,
things are really important nowadays.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So,
mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, Korean exam hell is created uh, in 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 all the time.
Uh-huh. All the time.
Yeah.
Or in any, probably in any given situation. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so the problems would be what? Let's
so
be more specific. For
mhm.
students first, okay, for students, what sort of problems are created?
So I mean, in my school
Mm-hmm.
days, students only focused on studying, preparing the exam. So
Preparing for the exam.
okay, preparing for
Mm-hmm.
the exam.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have many chances of experiencing many things. I
Uh-huh.
think yeah, that is the problem. That was the problem, and just to all students have to focus on their studying and didn't have any chance of experiencing many things.
Uh-huh.
But nowadays, I think it has changed. So even though they get a good schools,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't get into the prestigious university. So it's worse, I think.
Yeah, actually, I don't know which was worse. Was it worse before that students are only studying to prepare for an exam, so
Mm,
not necessarily learning it, but it's just, technicalities. You remember because you need to remember this, not because you want to learn about this one. Or nowadays, they experience a lot, but they don't necessarily get the score that would be needed for them to get into college or the university. Okay, that is. I don't know
Uh,
which one. Which one do you think would be
but
lesser trouble?
I don't think students nowadays students experience many things. They don't
Mhm.
experience many things. They also have to prepare for their college exam or other factors like I mentioned,
Mm.
math competitions or other merits they can write
Mhm.
down.
Mhm.
So yeah, but
It's
the
too much.
yeah,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
yeah.
So, if I may ask you, really, since you're already done with school, which do you think would be a better method? The old times, the old method, or the new one?
The old one, because
Mhm.
it's clear if I can get a good score, then yeah, I have a chance. But nowadays, even I get a good score, yeah, I study a
Mhm.
lot. But if I can, I mean, universities don't choose students. Um, uh, the standards of a university choose students is really vague
Yes.
because yeah, if they yeah, the number of winning the competition is really uh, few.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, they
Oh.
they choose the students
Mhm.
by their portfolio, the
Portfolio. Yes.
portfolio.
Exactly. So you are correct in saying that the standard of universities for choosing students, qualified students nowadays, is really vague. Okay, what exactly do I need to do? Okay,
Uh-huh.
and yeah. Number three, so which system do you think is fairer? The American system, which places more weight on personal interviews and academic records, or the Korean system, which rewards people who get a high score on the entrance test? And why do you think so?
Yeah, but I think this textbook is written, yeah, a long time
Before, yeah,
ago. So yeah,
it's not updated. Hmm.
so I think the Korean the how can I say Korean system is similar to American system.
Hmm.
And
Nowadays.
yeah, nowadays we put a
Hmm.
lot of weight on personal interviews and academic records and also other records. I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, competition, winning
Yeah.
competition, yeah, those merits.
Uh-huh.
So,
I wonder because I have an idea that for companies, especially international companies, there will be like one or two interviews. There will be a Korean interview and English interview, right?
mhm.
But for schools, is there a particular interview like you take the exam, you submit your portfolio? Is there still an interview?
You mean company or school?
Schools, schools.
I don't know exactly because,
Uh
yeah,
huh.
yeah.
But
Um,
for you, in your time, how did you do it? You took the exam, and what came next?
and then I also what's the report,
Okay.
essay. Yeah, there is an essay test,
Uh huh.
and so I had to go to the university I
Mhm.
applied for, and then I took an essay test, and then
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so they checked my grades in high school and also my essay,
Uh
and
huh.
then yeah, the school of college entrance exam. So yeah, there
Mhm.
were three factors. So
Mhm.
with that schools,
Mhm.
they decide whether they will choose me, pick me or not.
Uh-huh. Here in the Philippines, there was an old method that they would do. They would give us an essay question. Of course, you answered the essay question, and then during the interview, you have to talk about your um, what's that? Your essay. They will ask you questions about your essay. Do they also do that in Korea?
We don't have any interview, but nowadays I don't know they have interview or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but for you, you did not have that. Like
Yeah,
you said in your essay, you wrote in your essay that this one, this one, this one. Nothing like that.
no.
Okay, all right. Okay, and let's have number four. If the company entrance exams are abolished, will students from less famous universities have a better chance or a worse chance of getting a good job with a big company? Why do you think so? Hmm.
Yeah, people have a prejudice. So yeah, the employer also have a
Hmm.
prejudice. So
Hmm.
most people think of students who are attending prestigious university are smart and better than students who who are attending, yeah, just to normal university.
Hmm.
So yeah, if entrance exams are abolished, then
Hmm.
they just have to choose based on the information that they are given. So I think
Hmm.
the information would be their university and the grades in their university.
Hmm.
So yeah, famous, if a student attend a famous university, then I think they have more chance of getting into that company.
Yeah, exactly that one. I have always been wondering about that. You have the Sky Universities, right?
Mhm.
Okay, the Sky universities will be the most famous universities in
Mhm.
Korea. But what if, um, what if as a student I don't have the money to enter the Sky University, but I have the, let's say, the skill, the intelligence for that, but it's just that I cannot enter that since I don't have money. What will
So
happen?
you mean Sky means Seoul,
Yes,
Seoul and Korea and
consent.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the tuition fee for Seoul University is not that, yeah, expensive. And then, yeah, if you are really smart, and then you can get a scholarship. And I don't know
Ah.
well, but um, nowadays, scholarship,
Mhm.
the how can I say, the system scholarship
Mhm.
system would be well established. So
Mhm.
yeah, you can have many chances of yeah, getting a scholarship if you are
Mhm.
smart. But I'm not sure.
Ah.
But if you don't have a tuition fee and your grades was not that excellent, then you
Mhm.
can't get into the university.
Ah, okay. It does make sense. Mhm. Okay, if you don't have a tuition fee or if you don't have money to pay your tuition fee.
Hmm.
Okay, that should be it. And then next one. Okay. What effect does studying for the college entrance exam have on high school students and on their families? And what was the situation in your case?
Yeah, they have a lot of pressure
Mhm.
that they have to get into a good university because
Mhm.
in in Korea society, university is really important. If we
Okay.
don't get into a
Prestigious.
yeah,
Mhm.
prestigious university, then we have a low chance of getting into the big company.
Uh-huh.
So most people really, yeah, want to. Most parents want their kids to go into the good university.
Mhm.
So yeah, they that's why they spend a lot of money
Mhm.
for tutoring and also, yeah, cram schools
Mhm.
and yeah,
Okay. The private academies, right?
yeah.
Hagwons.
Hmm.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, by the way, university is really important. Yeah, that will have a different context than when you say getting into the university is really important or
Hmm.
entering the university. Okay. Uh, so in that case, uh, I'm thinking that if families, especially parents, are very uh, let's say vigilant about their children getting into the university, what was the scenario? What is a common scenario before the day of the entrance exam? Like in your case, how was it for you?
um Nothing special. I
Mhm.
just prepared for the test,
Mhm.
and yeah, I just studied, but I didn't study, yeah, late. Um, I just try to go to bed maybe around
Mhm.
10 p.m. Yeah, to
Uh huh.
for yeah for next for the exam, yeah, next day.
Because I have seen a documentary about this one. Um, Mothers would, how do I put it? Would really go to the temple and pray for that. Yeah, and
No.
then not anymore.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
maybe very few parents would do that, but I think you just saw the drama, Korean drama, or
No, no, it's a
no?
documentary in National
Really?
Geographic. Hmm.
Wow,
Yeah.
no, but not most parents. Very
Uh
few
huh.
parents would do that.
And then what is that? The government will, how do I put, delay the company time. Like if most
Ah,
employees would go
yeah,
to work at 8 o'clock. Oh, that's true.
yeah, that's true because
Mhm.
students have to move around that time, I mean
Have to travel.
yeah,
Mhm.
they have to go to the school where they have to take a test, but
Mhm.
because of a traffic jam they can be
Mhm.
late. So the government wants any student to lose their opportunity to take
Uh
a
huh.
test. So
Uh
that's
huh.
why uh, the government uh, ask most companies to get to work one
Mhm.
hour late.
Ah, okay. I think that's reasonable, and I think it's really good that most, uh, well, the companies would make considerations like that. Oh, in your family, what about your parents? Did they give you particular advice for that day?
No, I'm the youngest in my family,
Mhm.
so my parents already experienced my sister and my brother's exam, so
Mhm.
they were not that worried about me. They just thought they already experienced it, so yeah, they just thought it's okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. So it
and
pays to have. Go ahead.
it took only 5 minutes from my apartment to
Mhm.
the school where I took the test.
Uh huh.
So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Mhm. All right. Yeah. And then, uh, okay. This one. If the college entrance exam is abolished, do you think that the problem of giving bribes to university officials will still occur, or will the problem disappear? Bribes to
Hmm.
university officials? What does it mean? I mean, you really bribe university officials for
Uh,
what?
in yeah. Um. So uh, in my school days,
Uh huh.
10% of students could get into the university without the score of the test. So they can how can I say? So with even though they don't get a good um, grades, even
Uh
though
huh.
in school, if the principal recommend the student to the university, then they
Mhm.
can enter the university. So some parents might give bribes to university officials and also the
Officials.
principal, officials and
Uh
also the
huh.
principal. Then they could make uh, their kid to get into a good university.
Hmm. So the bribe will come in the form of money
Yeah, money.
or nothing else, just
Uh,
money.
yeah,
Uh huh.
most cases I think it's money.
Uh huh. Okay. Because I'm sorry, I always have to share something about how it's done here. Um, in some universities, if you don't pass a particular subject, all you need to do is kind of treat your professor to a very expensive, let's say, cigarette or wine, and then they
Mm-hmm.
would give you a very good score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why I was asking you just money. Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different.
Mhm.
I mean, even though I mean some students don't take any test, and
Uh-huh.
then they can go into the university. So nowadays, I told you 7 or 8% of students uh, are decided by their um, just a grade in high school or
Mhm.
other things. So there are more chances that students' parents give a bribe
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
university officials.
Mhm. Okay, but wouldn't that be? double check by the university if the university or any government official, if no government official and company official, if the student was able to enter the university without any particular score, or do they kind of input make believe score
Input what?
when you input a score like that, they hack a computer and then they put a score for the student even though the student did not take the exam. Is it possible to have that kind of thing?
Uh, uh, but why do they have to input their score?
Let's say if for example, if the company that the student will apply for in the future would want a background check on the student, like university records, and then they find out, okay, that the student does not have a score, then that could be a big problem, right? So to avoid that, if somebody will bribe a university official, then they would input make believe score or a made up score. What do you think?
But actually, they don't need a score. I told you some percentage of students don't need their score. They
Mm-hmm.
just can get
They
into
just
the,
enter.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
they are special. I mean, special cases. But yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
nowadays, when I was in high school, 10% of students,
Uh-huh.
uh, yeah, did that kind of thing. But nowadays,
Mm.
yeah, 70%. So it's not special. It's normal. So anyway,
I'm
they don't
yeah.
need a
I'm
score.
just curious. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just curious. How was it? How did they stop it? How was it possible to end that kind of practice, the bribing?
I think all students have to get into the university with the score of what is that? I mean, college entrance exam.
Mm, okay. All right. And I think we can have another one. If the country, if the company entrance test is abolished, do you think that the promotion test for employees will also be abolished, or will there be no change? Why do you think so? Oh yeah, promotional tests. Okay. What do you
But
think?
uh, in my previous company, we don't
Mhm.
have any promotion test. And
Okay.
yeah, as I know, in Korea, most big companies doesn't have promotion test.
Uh-huh. Don't have promotional tests. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, so in place of those tests, what could be their determining factor?
So the evaluation of my boss, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my evaluation, um, my evaluation from my boss. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
also gender is really important in Korea. Even
Oh.
though I performed really, uh, I mean, my what is that?
Mm-hmm. Your
For
evaluation, your
performance, yeah,
performance, yes.
yeah, my performance was really good. But the reason I'm a woman, actually, many women can't get promoted.
Oh, that's just about the saddest, most unfair reason anybody could be disqualified for a promotion. Okay. Well, it would be better to just take the test, whether you're a woman or a man. If you get a good score, then yeah, be promoted. If not, then nothing. Okay. Well, this one is very controversial even until now, but hopefully, in the company that you will apply to, or your company will always be very fair.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, before ending our class,
Yes.
I have
Uh
one
huh.
question. Are you
Go ahead.
also work as MSET evaluator? Uh,
Evaluator or examiner, you mean to say?
examiner, I mean.
Before during for the beta test before, I was one of the examiners, but nowadays I work on the test paper.
Uh-huh. Okay, I
Mm.
see.
You are like the third student who asked me that same question tonight.
Third, uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, no worries. It's okay. Well, Aliyah, thank you so much for sharing your opinions on this one. It was a very good class.
Yeah, it's too
Okay.
hard.
Yes.
Okay.
No worries. You did your best. Okay. Good
Okay.
night.
Good night.
Bye.